Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back. So in this video, we're going to look at the NBA playoff slate, first playoff slate, and also the MLB slate for Saturday. So as always, I will still continue to give out lineups for this postseason NBA. $25 for the entire postseason if you're interested. Put the link in the description. Also, still giving out MLB lineups. We've been cashing pretty regularly in double ups with MLB, and so it's been pretty good as of late. So let's keep it going tonight. So start off with NBA, 4-game slate. At point guard, talk about John Wall here at 8,500. We're still getting a discount off of John Wall. We're getting the Toronto discount, and we're also getting the discount that he's still coming back from an injury a bit. Because before he got hurt, he was almost at 10,000 as you see. So he's still really cheap, and he's really got it going the last 2 games. He really took over. Got about 60 drafts, got 67 against Boston, and then 59.5. So basically 60 in the last 2 games. And, in the playoffs, John Wall is going to have to take over like he did those 2 games. If the Wizards are going to have any chance, the matchup against Toronto, isn't ideal. John Wall has pretty much missed every game that they've played, so we can't really judge that this season. But I do like John Wall here a lot. He is the Wizards' best player, and he's going to show up. The matchup against Kyle Lowry looks tough on paper, but I love the price tag at 8,500, and he has a 70-point ceiling, and the Wizards are really going to need him to show up if they're going to have any chance in the series. So lock in John Wall, 8,500 at point guard. At shooting guard, J.J. Redick is really standing out at just 5,300. You can play him at shooting guard. You can also play him at small forward. And he's really taken over for the Sixers. Sixers are going to be without Joel Embiid, so a lot more shot opportunities for Redick. The Sixers are just super hot right now, 16 straight going into the postseason. Redick's been taking a ton of shots lately, as you see, 17, 14, 19, 13, 15, 15. And he is hot right now. He is making most of his shots, shooting the 3 exceptionally well lately. And he is the Sixers. Him and Bellinelli are the Sixers' best scoring threats right now. He's going to get a lot of looks. He's going to be on the court a lot of minutes here. And I like that they're playing at home in Philly, so the Sixers can kind of control the pace a bit. And yeah, he has had pretty decent numbers against Miami. He's averaging 26 DraftKings points, but that was before, Redick really took over. And Embiid is not going to be playing in this game, so a lot more usage going to Redick and some other guys like Covington and Simmons. Let's talk about power forward with Nikola Mirotic at 6,900. Mirotic has been a different animal since he's been inserted into the starting lineup. He has been taking down so many rebounds. He's been stealing rebounds from Anthony Davis. He's been shooting the 3 exceptionally well, taking a ton of shots, putting up a lot of points. He has a huge ceiling, and in this matchup, I do like Mirotic a lot at just 6,900. We saw be right before the season ended, 3 out of the last 4, he got 50 DraftKings points. So 69 is still not, enough. It's not a high enough price tag. And against Portland here, I think power forward is, kind of something you can target against them. With Anthony Davis having to deal with Nurkic, I think Mirotic can kind of, have a little bit of an advantage against, the power forwards of Portland. And his rebound numbers have just been super high right now. That's why I am loving Mirotic. And since he's been starting, his minutes have been super secure. And in postseason, we know the minutes get really extended for starters. The bench gets shortened. So I'm not worried about Mirotic not playing a lot of minutes at all. So I love him at 6,900. Another play that I like a lot is at center, Jusuf Nurkic on the other side of this game. This game I expect it to be pretty high scoring. Some of these other games might be pretty low scoring, like San Antonio, Golden State. They both play. San Antonio plays at a really slow pace, and they're really tough defensively. Washington, Toronto, I do like a couple pieces in that game, but it's probably going to be low scoring. Toronto's a great defense. Philly and Miami, Philly plays really fast. Miami plays slow, but Philly is playing at home, so they can kind of control the pace. But those games are that game hasn't really blown out in the 4 meetings that they played this season. Pelicans, Portland is kind of a game that I do like, to target on this slate a bit. I think that game is going to be the highest scoring. So at center, Jusuf Nurkic at just 6,600. I am loving that center play today. He has been amazing, in the last month or so. Really got it going on for the Portland. And he's going to have to play a lot of minutes in this game. And as I mentioned, I'm talking about how playoffs, the starters play a lot more minutes. And Nurkic is going to see a lot more court time. He's not going to sit on the bench with guys like Miles Leonard and Zach Collins in the game. He should see 30 to 35 minutes in this game. as long as he stays out of foul trouble. And it is a pretty good matchup for him against Anthony Davis, who is who's a guy that he can get into foul trouble with, but he's also a guy that he can have success with. Because Anthony Davis is probably not going to want to crash the boards with Nurkic. So I see Nurkic having a monster game here at just 6,600, has over 50 DraftKings points upside here, and he's very fairly priced. And then I'm going to give you guys another forward play, and that's spend down a bit with just Serge Ibaka. I like him a lot at 51. I think he's really turned the corner around in the last month or so of the season. We saw him get a huge stretch of games where it was consistently in the 30s, mid-30s as well. Price tag is just 5,100. I like it. I like the price tag. Last game of the season he was at 6,000. We're getting a nice $900 discount right now on Ibaka, and he's just really consistent. He's going to play 30 to 35 minutes in this game, get you points, rebounds, blocks. His block numbers are pretty high, and a couple of assists, steal here or there. Easily hit value at just 5,100. So I like Ibaka a lot. So those are 5 guys they can build around for the slate for NBA. Let's move on over to MLB for today. So main slate, 6 games. Let's dive right into it. Starting with the pitcher, I'm going to be paying up once again for Jameson Taillon at 12K. Obviously, he is the stud on the slate. Only guy priced above 10,000. Probably going to be the chalk against Miami, but you got to eat the chalk sometimes. And this is definitely a spot where I'm going to eat the chalk with him. Last game, he won a complete game shutout against Cincinnati, who has a very bad offense as well, and Miami's offense is even worse. Huge strikeout stuff. 14 innings pitched so far this season. He has 16 Ks, and the Pirates are willing to let him throw over 100 pitches if he's pitching well. So I like everything. All that stuff adds up for Taillon, also pitching in a great pitcher-friendly ballpark in Miami. So Taillon at 12K, great play. Second pitcher, spend down a bit with Garrett Richards at 7,100. Kansas City offense is very bad. Richards has shown amazing strikeout stuff so far this season. Currently, on this year, he's just pitched 15 innings, and he also already has 19 strikeouts. So his strikeout stuff is there. He's also facing a very bad offensive team, like I mentioned. The Royals, as a last check, they were ranked 29th in runs per game. Also do strike out a lot versus right-handed pitching. So I like Garrett Richards. Royals don't have a lot of thump in their lineup. And Richards, if he's not struggling with walks, his walk numbers have been really high. If he can get his control down in this game and continue racking up the Ks that he's been racking up, he can go really deep in this game and has a tremendous ceiling at just 7,100. So I like Garrett Richards a lot at that price tag facing the Royals. Now getting into some of these bats that I like. Let's start off with second baseman Robinson Cano at 4,600, highest priced second baseman on the slate. But I love him in this matchup against Kendall Graveman. I'm probably going to be stacking up Seattle in this spot. Reports are that Nelson Cruz might return for this game, and if he does, then I love Nelson Cruz here. He's probably going to be batting fourth so far. He played 2 games and he got on the disabled list, Nelson Cruz, but he hit home run in each of those games. And last season, he was a monster against right-handed pitching with a 306 batting average with 31 home runs. But Robinson Cano, he's leading the league, or he's in the top of the league in batting average right now with a 406. Facing a righty, last season his numbers against righties were 312 batting average, the 519 slugging percentage. Versus lefties, it was just a 208. So getting a great matchup here against Graveman. And Graveman has really struggled this season. Look at the numbers for Graveman. He's the second cheapest pitcher on DraftKings. But every game he's given up a home run. Every game he's not even lasted through past 5 innings and given up a ton of hits and earned runs in all of those games. So I love stacking up some Seattle offense today. And also Graveman barely strikes anybody out. He only has 5 strikeouts in 13 innings. So we love the Seattle offense today. Robinson Cano at 4,600. Great play at second base. And then at third baseman, going to rock once again with Matt Chapman at 4,100. I think this game is going to be a shootout here, Oakland and Seattle. And Chapman at 4,100 looks like one of the top third base options on the slate. He's hitting for a super high average right now. Already has 4 home runs. Gets a nice lefty-righty matchup against Gonzalez. who also, does struggle against righties a bit and also does struggle with the long ball. So I think Matt Chapman has the potential to take him deep. And at 4,100, he has a great ceiling in this matchup. And then some of these outfield bats that I like, as I mentioned, if Nelson Cruz is in the starting lineup, he's going to be one of my top plays on the slate. But just want to hold off on him until we get confirmation. But I do like his teammate here, D. Gordon, at 4,000. As I mentioned, I think the Mariners are going to rack up a lot of hits against Graveman. D. Gordon is, hitting at the top of the order. And against righties, you want to play D. Gordon against right-handed pitching. Had a .313 batting average against righties. And the most important thing when it comes to D. Gordon is that when he's facing a righty, is that the increased stolen base chance he has. Against righties last season, he had 44 stolen bases. Those numbers were much bigger than against left-handed pitching, because lefties, it's hard to steal a base off of first because there are pitchers looking right at you. When right-handed pitching, the back is turned to first base. So that's why stolen bases are much more easier to get against right-handed pitching. And D. Gordon can absolutely fly. Has already had multiple steal games so far this year. And against Graveman, doesn't strike a lot of people out, so you should not have to worry about him holding runners on too well. I think D. Gordon, if he gets on base, can easily get 1 to 2 stolen bases here and give you a nice, 5 to 10 DraftKings points easily. And another outfield that I like, I'm going to go right back to Corey Dickerson. I like the Pirates' offense here. They're facing against Richards of Miami, who's the cheapest price pitcher on DraftKings, so the Pirates should get some good runs on the board. And Dickerson is, too cheap. I played him yesterday, got another double-digit DraftKings point game. Been seeing the ball extremely well lately, double-digit DraftKings point games in 4 straight games. And gets a nice lefty-righty matchup here against Richards. So I like some of the Pirates' offense. I'm going to attack some of them. I'm going to go a little bit cheaper with Dickerson, since I am going to be spending up a bit for some of the Seattle players. So, got to save some money somewhere. I think Dickerson at just 3,800, having a great season so far. Really stepped it up last couple weeks after got off to a slow couple days to start out, but it really picked it up. And I love him at just 3,800 on the spot. So there you have it. Those are my NBA picks and my MLB picks. As I mentioned, the website is dfsprocess.com if you want to get lineups from me. Thanks for watching, everybody. I appreciate it. Drop a like if you enjoyed, and see you all tomorrow.